Blackstone Audio presents The Wolf and the Man, a Western Story, by Max Brand. This book is read by Mark Bramhall. Chapter 1. Gray Cloud had lived only 2 years, but since his 9th month he had made nearly every week a memorable one. It was in his 9th month that he discovered how neatly his fangs would cut the hamstring of a cow, or even of a full-grown bull. That ended all necessity of hard labor for him. Other wolves had to work hard across the diameter of a 100-mile range, but Gray Cloud took things easily. Winter or summer, he could always find beef when he wanted it. Since he grew to prefer it perfectly fresh, he had to kill more often. And since he killed more often, he had to lurk closer to the dwellings of man. The terrible scent of steel and gunpowder was seldom out of the far-drawn horizon of his scenting powers, and nearly always there was the trace of man himself in the air. That taught him lessons all the faster. He was learning, as it were, with a gun at his head, in more senses than one. He was nipped 6 times by bullets, but he was never seriously wounded by any of the hundreds of shots that were fired at him. He had discovered that at any distance over 400 yards he ran little or no danger from firearms. He knew that in the open a horse could run him down, but for that reason he usually chose to hunt where there were rocky hills. In such going he could easily leave horses behind him, and dogs also dropped to the rear. Yes, they had begun to hunt him with dogs when he was a scant 1.5 years old, and was just putting on the last of his normal 130 pounds. He learned a great deal from the dogs. He found out that they were helpless singly, that they were timorous even when they ran in pairs, but that in groups they would fight as savagely as cornered wildcats. However, the life was close to the surface in them. Henry Morrissey found that out. When the price on Gray Cloud's scalp rose to $1,000, Morrissey brought down his pack of hounds, and they nailed Gray Cloud in a narrow little gully at the 3rd running of him. He was not really cornered, but he was tired of running away from the brindled leader. So he turned in the narrows of the little ravine, and when the hunters came up, they found 5 dead or dying dogs on the ground, while the others stood back and growled at a wolf that had disappeared again among the rocks. Morrissey went back to the Purvis Ranch that night, and Gray Cloud followed him down.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?